What's up, XRP family? Thank you for joining the video for today. So we have some interesting stuff to talk about, guys, and remember that Ripple made an amazing victory. It's not a small thing, and I will show you something that John E. Deaton said actually, and he's really right. Make no mistake about this ruling. It's not a small victory for Ripple. It is a significant victory that is on the same level as the victory related to the judge ordering the production of internal memorandum regarding BTC, ETH, and XRP. Ripple has scored another small victory in its ongoing with the US. This is said by the Cointelegraph. Now remember, the Cointelegraph is owned by people who maybe do not want to see the XRP or Ripple win this case. So you have to understand, they saw a small victory, but guys, this is not small. This is a very significant victory that happened, and now we wait for the deposition, which will happen on the 27th of July. Now let's talk about some stuff related to that, because there is so much evidence that we can see that XRP will clearly win this case and is not considered a security. So let's take a look at the first video. I think they, the SEC represented by Hinman, were careful not to say anything about the past because it probably doesn't matter to them right now, but we did about 7 months of legal work. I wonder why he thinks that. Let's take a look.
If there's a token there, that represents some sort of business logic. It could be membership, it could be consumption of scarce resources. On Ethereum, it could pay for computation and storage, and effectively trusted transactions and automated guaranteed execution of agreements. And so if you sell that token to consumers who will use it, and not specifically in huge quantities to investors, promising them enormous returns, then that's a good, clean consumer utility token and would not be considered a security.
So your idea is that basically because you sold Ethereum as being a tool,
yeah,
rather than some store of value, and because you approach developers with it rather than more traditional investors.
You can sell a store of value. You can sell gold, which people consider to be a store of value, but it's not a security.
So the question, though, is that Ethereum too had its own ICO, back in the day. Maybe
we called it a token launch. We were very careful to stay away from the term ICO because it leads people to believe that it's something akin to an IPO, and it wasn't.
So you don't think that that ICO at the very beginning, or that token launch, my apologies, you don't think that that's going to end up being regulated as something that was a security sale in the end?
I think we heard a statement already to the effect that Ether, or transactions involving Ether, are not considered securities transactions.
See how they are protecting Ethereum because there is something going on which we still have to see and still have to wait for. But it is very clearly that Ethereum is the same as Ripple, guys. It has a function, it has utility. There was no ICO with Ripple, so that's even more convincing that this is not a security what we are thinking about. And you can also see that it's not just about storage of value, because that's also what XRP is not. XRP has a clear function, it is a bridge currency, and that is why it is not a security. It's not just to make profit of the asset. Actually, it is used for more use cases. Now that's the big point, and if they can ask Hinman the right questions, they will win this case easily, guys, easily. Let's take a look.
Well, it's really hard to know because crypto is interestingly nonpartisan. Its biggest fans include both Democrats and Republicans, and its biggest opponents include both Democrats and Republicans. And so I think the better predictor is not Biden versus Trump. The better predictor is ultimately who has the strongest thesis for this stuff. And as I've said many times before, my thesis is that there is a thing about decentralization. It is both a freer technology and it is also a more sound money strategy than central bank governed money printing approaches, which is kind of what we've done historically. Obviously, there's some people coming into the Biden administration who agree with that. If it is true that Michael Barr is my successor at the OCC, I think he's likely to have more of a thesis similar to mine on this. He has a background having spent some time on the Ripple advisory board, for example. And on the other hand, Secretary Yellen has said some relatively skeptical things about the asset class. So I don't think it's a partisan issue. I think it's more about who's a tech adopter and who's an innovator versus who isn't.
Brian, speaking of Ripple, you worked at Coinbase. You worked in the government, albeit.
So it's very obvious what they're telling about crypto, guys. They need that decentralization, and a lot of people want that. A lot of people want to use a decentralized cryptocurrency space. Now Ripple can provide that, but we have to still wait how they're gonna use it in a good way. This is the woman who recently joined Ripple, actually, for as a director there, and she is actually very important because she was working with the Federal Reserve, which is a very big thing. Now let's take a look what she's saying.
I'm the first person to be the chair of the Advanced Counterfeit Deterrence Steering Committee, which is the only formal collaborative that exists between Treasury, the Secret Service, and the Federal Reserve to provide recommendations to the Secretary on the future of currency. I am the first person to...
So she is the first person that they will talk to, and she can have the relationships with the Federal Reserve and the Bank of America, stuff like that. It's very significant what she's doing. Now this was the tweet from John E. Deaton, which we talked about. Here is a very interesting idea. This is someone who had a thought. What if Jay Clayton had another motivation to drop the lawsuit on Ripple? Maybe he realized or was told it'd be good move for Bitcoin because it was actually a setup for Ethereum. Maybe no one could go after Ethereum directly for whatever reason, like other SEC people's interest. Hinman, by going after Ripple, it would indirectly end up implicating Ethereum, though, if in the end both Ripple and BTC have clearance, but ETH ends up on the chopping block. I'll be saying there's a good chance that really was a setup meant for ETH the whole time. We'll see, that may be way off, but it's just consideration. Now, you don't know in this space. Everything is possible because when they want to do something, they always do it indirectly. They always use other methods to use these methods to actually bring something down. They're not going to do it directly because it's too obvious for people, and that is maybe what's happening. It's not a clear consideration. It's not very it's just speculation at this moment, rumors actually, but it's not a bad thought. It's not very far from what actually can be happening, that they actually want to go after Ethereum, and this was the way to do it. I don't think that this is the reality, because I just think that Ripple needs regulation to be used. There is a decided lack of clarity for market participants around the application of the securities laws to digital assets and their trading, as is evidenced by the requests each of us receives for clarity and the consistent outreach to the Commission staff for no action and other relief. Now, the application of the test is not crystal clear. This is literally said by Hester Pierce. She's the direct commissioner of the SEC, and she said that it's not crystal clear according to the Howey test of 1946. Now you can clearly see, guys, that they don't have their shit together, because you can clearly see they don't even know how to regulate something like this. But now they have a deadline and they need to do something, and the deadline aligns exactly a day before the deposition, which is huge. Revealed: leak uncovers global abuse of cyber surveillance weapon. Now guys, this is something that I keep telling you. This is about the cyber attack that most probably will happen globally around the world. The phone numbers which were selected possibly ahead of a surveillance attack span more than 45 countries across 4 continents. There were more than 1,000 numbers in European countries that the analysis indicated were selected by NSO clients. Now, this is also on the World Economic Forum, guys. They are preparing for something very, very big that is gonna happen, and it may be almost time. A lot of systems are down. A lot of things are not working. There is a lot of things happening right now, and we just have a couple of days before the deposition, before the switch is actually made. So be ready. Can the upcoming deposition in SEC versus Ripple drive XRP and ETH prices? Now, guys, it may be possible that after the SEC lawsuit, after 28th of July, there will become regulation. The deposition will have happened. Maybe the case will be closed. Maybe, just a maybe. And then, before the end of July, they actually relist XRP and on the exchanges, we're definitely gonna see a price surge across the board. So it doesn't matter if it's just XRP. It will be more assets. It will be Ethereum. It will be XRP. It will be Bitcoin. It will be all of them rising across the board if this will happen. Judge allows Ripple to depose SEC official who decided ETH is not a security. Now this is the problem. They have to ask the right questions because he declared that ETH is not a security, so they have to ask the right questions. And the big question is, will they be allowed to ask these questions? This is very significant for the upcoming case, guys, and we're gonna wait. It's just 9 days left now, and we cannot wait. 8 days, sorry. Good morning, XRP 0589. This was the price of XRP very recently, and it's hovering around this number. Now this is exactly the masses, guys. This is what I can see when XRP reaches $1,000. This is what's gonna happen. People are gonna wait. People are gonna want to buy it, but they can't because 1,000 for one coin is huge, guys. But once you know what XRP can do, and once you know the true potential of it, you understand that even $1,000 is not that much for a bridge asset that can be used globally. So this is a picture of, like, picture yourself. Where are you? Where are you standing? Are you standing in this line or the other line? You decide. You can decide right now, guys. 84.3 million XRP transferred to Binance while coin sits at 0.5. There is another transfer by a Whale Alert. Popular crypto tracking bot Whale Alert has published a tweet with details of a recently made transfer worth 84.3 million XRP. They are all getting ready, guys. Binance, Huobi, there has been so many millions of XRP shifted just to get ready to relist XRP as soon as possible, because they know that 27th of July is going to be very significant. And maybe we will even see a price increase before that, because it's just too obvious to rise the price exactly after the deposition, which will maybe not happen. But I think if they want to do something, if they want to flip that switch, it's gonna be in the next 7 days or 8 days or 9 days. It has to be, guys. Thank you for watching the video. This is all for today. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. See you around. Cheers.